Okay, serious question for all of my girlies out there. So I broke up with my ex in November of last year, and I was so excited to go on dates. I was like, I cannot wait to find my person. I'm so excited. I start going on dates, and no one told me this shit was hot garbage. No one told me that the apps are the Hunger Games. No one told me that I wasn't gonna feel anything. And then when I finally find a guy that I actually connect with, he doesn't like me back. So at this point, I'm starting to wonder, did I up by breaking up with my ex? I mean, he was great. We just broke up because I wasn't sure I wanted to get married to him. But the shit out here is way worse. Like, way, way worse. I'd rather be in an unhappy marriage at this point.
What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican, back hitting it off to the ladies. Ladies, we're going to keep doing this over and over and over and over again until you get it. But I don't think you are going to get it. Remember that protein I was talking about that prevents flies from actually learning lessons? It's probably why we don't have sentient flies, flying around with machine guns trying to shoot us people for trying to kill them. Yeah. When you ever wonder why men rule the world, why we tend to just consistently and constantly perform better in the world than you women, this is why. Listen to her. Go back and play it again and listen to her. You can obviously tell she was giving bad advice. Why did nobody tell me it was Hunger Games? Why did nobody tell me it's hot trash out here? Why did nobody tell me this? Why did everybody told her friends? When I say everybody, guys ain't out here telling women like to leave good dudes to go out and explore yourself and find yourself and your sexuality and all these types of other things. Let me cheat on my guy. Let me leave my guy and, go find some random dudes to sleep with to see if I really want to be with this guy. Guys aren't telling women to do that. Women are telling other women to do that. And it always ends up like this video. It always ends up in the woman being miserable, being sad, being downtrodden and upset that she lost a good dude. At this point, I'm starting to think you women like your sob stories. That whole I lost love. Better to have lost love than to never have experienced it BS or whatever else. There's no mutual exclusivity here, ladies. You don't have to lose your love. Better to have lost love. Why you gotta lose it? Because you're goofy? Because you're dorky? Because you're really good at making bad decisions? You ladies want us to respect your decisions and your choices, and they're always bad. They're always choices that you yourself regret. How do we respect that? If we have been actively, people, both men and women, because women will watch this video and they're not going to listen. They're not going to learn. So you actively make bad choices, and then you want us to respect your choices and your decisions. You want us to sit back and say, hey, you know what? I actually think you're going to do the right thing. Yeah. Well, what you have demonstrated, ladies, thanks to modern technology and society and social media, is that you are incapable in general. Not all of you, obviously, but most of you are incapable of making good choices when it comes down to mate selection. You will have a very good mate and you will leave that person because he's too good. And, it would be like if this wasn't the norm now. If we could say, these are just a few exceptions, it would be like, okay, yeah. Well, ladies, take a lesson, pay attention to that. But this is like a lot of you now. And then you got guys out here who are just basically enjoying it all. They're just absorbing all of your sexual energy. They're going to come up, they're going to smash you, and they're going to keep it pushing. And so you leave a good guy who would just do the best that he can within his power as a man, within his capacity to give you everything he can to make you happy. And you don't appreciate it. I wish you ladies would just stop saying you want good men. Because who are you lying to? We're seeing the truth now. And it's not just a minority of you women. It's a large number of you women who are actually out here doing this. We can like just go down the list of people, some of the dudes in my YouTube channel. If we go to the non-Muslim channels, it's even worse. But even Muslims, you can find, I was just told a story about this lady left her family, went out, cheated, and then came back to her husband. Oddly, he took her back. These are Muslims. You know, she had the experience that things were bad out there in order to appreciate her man. You know what? We're not trying to hear that. In general, most men ain't trying to hear that. Are there some dudes that'll do that? Yeah. But then you also know that that's wrong. You also know that's bad, and you're not going to respect that. And so it's going to make you even more dissatisfied because you went out, you didn't find what you're looking for. Then you come back to your man and you find that he's weak, lame, and pathetic, and that makes you even more even worse. As for the men, it's going to do two things to him. It's going to just drive him into being an absolute beast and a monster and just crushing life, like the guy in the previous video, or, you know, getting what he wants, being happier than ever. And that's generally what should happen. Or it's going to break the man entirely. But what always happens is you never get the guy that you leave and step out of the relationship for, and you never get the guy that you had that was great back. And if you do, you don't get him back in the capacity that you want him. Because here's the thing, and this applies to non-Muslims, and I'm not advocating like, sleeping around or whatever else, but non-Muslims, if your girl steps out of a relationship on you and she wants to come back, let her come back. But she is a hookup like she went out looking for you. That's what she becomes to you, non-Muslims. Obviously, I don't advocate this as a Muslim, but you people are going to do what you're going to do. But if you're going to let her back in your life, guess what? Well, hey, you know what? You went out and had fun. That's all I am to you now. I'm just another fun guy. We're definitely not relationship stuff. You want to have fun, go home on the weekend, back to your house. You can come here, stay a few hours. We do our Netflix and chill stuff. And then you go home back to your life. But me, I'm looking for a relationship with a woman I can be with. You don't take that woman back. Now, guys, don't go out and do that stuff. I mean, I'm a Muslim, so I'm just saying, Muslims do what you want to do. But you guys do goofy stuff. So if you're going to do goofy stuff, then make sure it's goofy on her part and she suffers. But anyway, just get married, and get married to the right woman. Check out the vetting guide if you're having problems figuring out what the right woman is, because the warning signs are there. Nobody can tell me that the warning signs in this woman aren't there. And because this has become such a thing, closing out this video here, because this behavior in women has become such a thing, vetting guide part 2 is on pause, and I am deep, and I mean deep into vetting guide 1.5, which is vetting during marriage. Because women change during marriages and a lot of guys don't recognize the warning signs. And so I'm putting together a guide for you guys who are in long-term relationships, marriages primarily, because I'm writing from the perspective of a Muslim. But it applies to people who are in long-term relationships, non-Muslim marriages. It's all the same across the board. What to do when you start seeing these red flag signs in your woman that she's about to step out of the relationship. You need to constantly and consistently keep vetting women. You vet her before you marry her. You vet her during the marriage. When she's gone, she's somebody else's problem. And then that person's going to have to start the vetting process over with her when she's gone out of your life. You can take corrective measures and steps in order to bring her back in line, or find out whether or not you need to, cut the rope. And, women will get mad at me for this, but y'all brought this about. If y'all wouldn't do this stuff like in these videos that I keep posting, and I'm going to keep posting over and over and over until you women learn the lesson, which I'm sure you won't. But if you don't want me to create content like this and say stuff like this, then stop acting like this in mass, in huge numbers. And just as a final note, when you see all these videos, remember something. Women love to tell on themselves. Give them the opportunity and they'll tell on themselves. They love to snitch on themselves. So we're going to see a whole lot more of these videos coming out in the near future because women are constantly and consistently snitching on themselves and their bad behaviors. And you, brothers, you deserve better.
Who wants to fight?
It's your man, Abuamerican. I'm out.
I'm only taking the brave. I'm not taking the scary. I'm not taking no girls. Are you ready to fight? Yes, sir. Are you ready to fight? Yes, sir.